Hey y'all, it's Nancy, the Handy Scandy, here for Whimsy Stamps. Thanks for joining me today. Now, if you've been with me for a while, either here on Whimsy or over on my channel, you know that I often do too much. And this is another example of that. So on screen are several of the products that I'll be using today, and I will be sure to link and list everything down in the description box so that if you're interested and you want to go do some shopping, you'll be able to quickly hop over there. But the star of this show today is this pattern paper pad. It's called Cozy Winter. It's new to me. It's not new to Whimsy, but it's new to me. But I fell in love. And I just wanted to do a quick little flip through so you could see all the beautiful, fun, kind of whimsical papers in here, and some of them are a little more elegant, a little more fancy, some of them are more fanciful. And this cute little pink foxy, oh my gosh. Obviously this is the flip through. I'm going to be coming back here in just a second and doing a side by side with some of them that are a little more similar. So some of the toss prints that are larger and smaller and that kind of thing. But here we go, card one. So I did not mention, I said I did too much. The too much is that I made 4 cards. I couldn't stop. I fell in love with the paper pad and just kept going. So this particular background, even though it is that kind of tealy blue with the white and the craft on this one with the shadows on the trees read as black to me. So that's why we have a black background. But you know, it is what it is, and I think it's just fine. I think it reads beautifully in the end. I absolutely love the black contrast, to be honest. So you guys let me know what you think. Does it read more beige to you, or the crafty color, or do you feel like the black is right for this one like I do? Now that die in the background that creates that little hilly scene, that's the Mountain Majesty die set, and it's so much fun. I've used it several times today. But also the Sheltering Love stamp set and coordinating dies, they are sold separately, but I've used them several times as well today, and that's that sweet little berry with his hands out. I think he's absolutely adorable. Now I colored up all my images with my Olos. I did use some colored pencils on the next card, and I also came back and used my Arteza kind of micro tip pens, if you will, to add some details back in, like the stripes on his hat. Yeah, I used the Olo, and then I went back in with the fine point pen as well to create that stripe on his hat. Super cute. Love that big Believe word die. I think it's fantastic, and it stands out just perfectly. Again, I'm loving the black, but y'all tell me what you think. Now, obviously, this is card 2, as it mentioned, and just layering up my pattern paper. Now, you know, when it's kind of a two-sided situation, it can be really hard to decide which one you want to use. I don't know if you noticed that I had multiple packs when I was doing the flip through. There are multiple, so you know, sometimes that's just what you got to do so that you can use both sides. But just know that two of each come in each paper pad that you might purchase, so you know you have the opportunity to use both sides. But anyway, I love the coordinating blues and browns. It's kind of a tealy soft greeny blue, you know, for winter, and I love that. And I'm just adding this organza bow, just fidgeting and fussing, and that's kind of what I do with bows. I'm more of a knot girl than a bow girl, but I feel like that one came out okay. It took some work, but we got there in the end. So the sweet little berry image, you can see him over on the side. Again, I colored him up. I stamped him out on craft, and then I colored him up with my colored pencils, and used the die to cut him out. I think he's adorable. Oh my goodness. And it's interesting because these little images, you can obviously make a whole scene if you wanted to, but I think each one of them, you know, they are able to stand on their own as just adorable little focal points. Look at him. Are you kidding me? Adorable. So I layered up all of my little pieces and parts. I used the Wonky Stitch rectangle dies for the backgrounds, and I think he's adorable. Again, I think that organza bow is perfect. Now you'll notice that on cards 2 through 4, I really don't put a sentiment. I do come back with sentiments on them, but for this part of it, I just didn't know for sure what I wanted to put. So I was all about just using that pattern paper and trying to build my cards And yeah, and again, because there's 4 cards being made here, I don't go into all the details. Obviously, the die cutting, the coloring, the stamping, fussy cutting, all of that is done off screen. So just to be mindful of your time. So yeah, layering up my layers here again. I'm kind of offsetting these 2 cards, offsetting the focal point over to the left. To me, that's just pleasing to my eye. I like that. I like this little technique of adding little teeny tiny strips of paper to the edge to kind of frame out your images, if you will. In this case, it's the pattern paper versus an image. But I think it's just a fun technique. I believe my counterpart, Miss Dawn, did a similar technique on a recent video as well, using some silver paper, and it was beautiful. Her card was absolutely stunning. If y'all haven't seen that, I encourage you to go back and watch that. It's beautiful. Much more elegant than these. These are a little bit more whimsical or fanciful, if you will. But, yep, colored this guy up with my Olos as well, and used the stitch circle dies to die cut him out, as well as that layering piece on the craft. And then, of course, just adding some details. I don't often use trims and ribbons and things, but this time I did. I don't know, I tend to use them more, I guess, for fall, Halloween, Christmas, winter. I don't know what it is about those seasons. I'm a little more cozy, and maybe it is the cozy factor, you know. But here I'm trying to figure out which kind of blingy, they're not blings, which kind of other element I want to add. I felt like I wanted a button, but I also had the little wooden snowflakes and the tin stars as well, but they were just a little bit too dark. So going through my buttons, I really wanted to use the red, but it was not the right shade of red, and the red buttons that I did have were too large. So I settled on this khaki color, pretty much the same color as the craft cardstock. It's Desert Storm, as well as the little trim. And that trim, to be honest, I can't remember if it's from Dollar Tree or if it's from Pop Shelf. I don't know if y'all have Pop Shelf in your area, but it's, I don't know, it's just like a tiny, I don't know if it's a tiny chain, but it's a small store, and they just have really affordable products in their store. Everything from food to housewares to craft supplies, you name it, they've got it. So on to card 4. This one obviously is a shaped card. I use the hexagon dies, and I don't know, there's just something about a shaped card that just, I don't know, it's maybe it's the kid in me still. I just think they're really happy. So I cut 2 of the largest of the hexagon shapes, and that obviously has the scallop, and then I created I used my bone folder and did a little indentation, and that creates the fold, so that you know, that creates your card base so that it can fold open versus, you know, like a side fold or a top fold card. So anyway, then added my pattern paper layer that I also cut out with the hexagon, and I added my sweet little town there from the Mountain Majesty die set that is obviously cut out in the craft cardstock. And then I added 2 little hills from that die set as well. I had those die cut in white, and I did some ink blending on this card. I did a little bit of ink blending along the way on a couple of them, but this one, I don't know, I struggle with white space still, and there was a lot of white going on, so I just had to, I don't know, had to vintage it up, grunge it up just a little bit. So I did some ink blending on the die cuts with some dough colored ink from Pink Fresh Studio, as well as some the China. What's the China one? Broken China Distress Oxide. I did that on all the layers on the little hexagon card. So here's where we're at. Everything is still drying, and then we come back and everything has all their words and all the sentiments and all the die cuts added. Now I did not go back and add any bling, right? I wanted to. I added embellishments, obviously, but not bling. And in the end, I may go back. Y'all let me know. Do they need some bling? I don't know. I feel like with the craft, maybe they don't. Maybe that just kind of opens the door for them to be a little less blingy, if that makes sense. But my heart wants bling. So y'all tell me what you think. And on that one, I really wish I had added some other red elements to pull in that red from the pattern paper. But I like it just the way it is too. And I think as much as I love all of them, I think this one might be my favorite. I don't know. I've embraced the white space on that one and I'm okay with it. But y'all, here we are. Let me know what you think. All 4 cards together. I do want to apologize for the lighting. We just went through daylight savings and it's very dark, and it's dark most of the time when I'm able to do my filming and my creating. So I do apologize for the shadows and things. But hopefully I'll be able to get that worked out as the season progresses, because we have a lot of darkness ahead of us in the next couple of months. So y'all, let me know what you think downstairs in the comments. I'm always interested in what you have to say. If you have a favorite, of course, I'd love to know that as well. But in the meantime, you can find Whimsy on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram. We'd love for you to join us and contact us over there. Join in the fun. And yeah, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button as well. We'd love to have you back. And until next time, y'all, this has been Nancy, the Handy Scandy for Whimsy Stamps. Mwah! I'm out.